Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So earlier today, I read this story about a school, a charter school in Texas, where you had an eighth grade class, American history class, and they were talking about the question of slavery. And you had one of these teachers actually ask the students to list the negative things about slavery and the quote unquote positive things about slavery. I mean, of course, when parents saw this lesson plan, when they saw this particular assignment, they were outraged, and rightfully so. And this is just another example of what Brother Malcolm X taught us about. He said that only a fool allows his enemy to educate his children. Only a fool does that. And, I think about that every time when I see these kinds of situations unfold, where you have these teachers miseducating our children, teaching our children nonsense. There's nothing positive about slavery, nothing at all. And the fact that you would have a teacher with the audacity to present this kind of lesson plan is an outrage. It's absolutely outrageous. Can you imagine a public school teacher talking about the positive aspects of the Holocaust? Can you imagine that? Of course not. But they think that it's okay to have a lesson plan about the quote unquote positive things about the enslavement of black people. What's positive about being beaten? What's positive about being raped? What's positive about being killed and castrated and abused in every imaginable way, tortured? What's positive about that? There is no positivity from that. These people, they don't have any regard for our humanity. They don't respect us at all. And that's the only way that you can explain a teacher thinking it's rational, thinking it's acceptable to have a lesson about the positive aspects of the enslavement of our ancestors, enslaved for hundreds of years. There's absolutely nothing positive about a people being not only physically oppressed, but psychologically oppressed. Psychologically oppressed to the degree that they were taught to hate themselves and to worship this damn white man. There's nothing positive about that. There's nothing positive about a black man being totally emasculated and his woman's body being used to pleasure the damn slave master. Ain't a damn thing positive about that. But yet you have a teacher with the audacity to talk about what are the positive things from slavery. What's positive about slavery? That's absolutely absurd and ridiculous. Now, from the oppressor's perspective, of course, the oppressor who benefits from the enslavement and the oppression of black people, of course, they're going to think that there's something positive about it, because they profited off of our misery, off of our oppression, off of our blood, sweat, and tears. They profited off of that. They profited off of the free labor that they got from black people for hundreds of years. Free labor that enriched these white slave owners. Free labor that enriched banks, that enriched insurance companies, that enriched the federal government, that enriched universities by exploiting our labor and our pain. And that reminds me of something that Farrakhan said back in the day about how a white man's heaven is the black man's hell. So it's all good for the white man, the oppressor, in terms of slavery. They see that they have profited from it, but it created a living hell for us. And we should raise hell in this type of situation. There's no way in hell that we should allow anybody to be talking about some positive aspects of slavery. There's nothing positive about the oppression of our people. And this is a reminder of some of the perils of so-called integrated education. Again, we are allowing our enemies to educate our children. Are we not surprised that our enemies will want to teach our children about the positive aspects of their own oppression? This is the miseducation that the brother Carter G. Woodson talked about. I mean, asking people to come up with positive aspects of slavery is like asking a crime victim to talk about how it's positive that he was a victim of a crime. You know, no greater crime has been committed than the enslavement of black people. Millions of black people died during the Middle Passage. You know, they stole our ancestors from their motherland of Africa and enslaved them. There's nothing positive about that. These damn criminals want a pat on the back for enslaving our people, man. And this is nothing new. This is what they have done throughout history. They've tried to rationalize the enslavement of our people. They tried to make it seem as if we enjoyed being slaves, that we were somehow a docile people suited for slavery. So this notion that there's something positive about slavery is nothing new. This is what they have always propagated in racist propaganda. So I just had to voice this, outrage. This is absolutely ridiculous. And again, my last point that I will make is this, and that's about these charter schools. A lot of people think the charter school is the solution to the problem of failing schools in our inner cities and black communities. But this is a prime example of how it is not a solution. This is a charter school that we're talking about. These charter schools are less regulated. They don't have to go through the same channels of regulation in terms of curriculum and all that kind of stuff. So they're allowed to get away with this kind of nonsense. And it's like our people, because of the sorry state of our schools, are looking for some kind of option, some kind of alternative. So they go to these charter schools expecting solutions when, unfortunately, they encounter even more problems. So tell me what y'all think. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace.